Hello students, good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, we have revised chapter 6 in last class. So today is chapter 7 and this is talking about ages and cycles. Here we will be studying about age coloring and Hamiltonian cycles. Okay, like we did Eulerian graph. Here we will be studying about Hamiltonian graph. Okay, so
Yes,
first, the vertex cover, not vertex coloring. Can you define it? Vertex coloring, proper coloring. Coloring is just assignment of colors to the vertices, right? And proper coloring is such that coloring such that adjacent vertices gets the different color, right?
yes, sir.
And K colorable graph where proper K coloring exists, right? When we talk about chromatic number denoted by chi of G or chi of G, minimum coloring, right? Minimum proper coloring. And for any graph, we discuss about its lower bound and upper bound. Upper bound, one of the upper bound was delta G plus 1, right? And lower bound, one was n by alpha, right? N of G by alpha of G, where n is the number of vertices, alpha of G is the independence number of the graph, and capital delta G is the maximum degree. Yeah? And the other upper bound is, was it
Omega.
omega? Omega G is your clique number, right? The maximum L such that KL is the subgraph of G. That is maximum number of pairwise adjacent vertices. Chromatic number, and that was n minus alpha plus 1. Clear?
Yes,
Similarly, here we will be discussing about edge coloring. Okay, there will be proper edge coloring, K colorable, edge K, proper K colorable. Okay, so here assignment of colors to the edges. Okay, and the minimum proper coloring, the number of minimum proper colors is minimum number of colors is that G is K colorable, K edge colorable. That is your edge chromatic number. Okay, that is denoted by chi dash of G. Okay, and here we will be proving this one again. Capital del maximum degree plus 1, and this is greater than equal to, here it was number of vertices, it was vertex coloring, right? N was number of vertices, alpha is the maximum number of independent vertices. So here it is edge coloring, that's why number of edges divided by, it should be maximum in number of independent edges, that is denoted by
alpha.
alpha dash, right? Maximum matching. This is the vertex corresponding to vertices. This is corresponding to edges, and many more, one or two more inequality we will be talking about. Okay. Yeah. Now we have edge coloring. So if any two edges are adjacent or incident, you can just say incident with the same vertex, then for proper coloring, we cannot use the same color to color these edges, right? For proper coloring, clear? So first color, second color. Either we can assign the color to edges of the vertex of the graph G, or we can find one more graph that in that these edges correspond to the vertices. Okay. One more graph that is known as the line graph of G, and how this is formed. The edges of G will become the vertex of line graph of G, L of G. Okay. Edges correspond to vertices, and adjacency is defined by, suppose this was E1 and this was E2. So E1 become the vertex over here, and E2 also become the vertex over here. And how these are adjacent? Whenever there is some common vertex present in the G, whenever these edges are adjacent, whether same common one common vertex or both common vertex, doesn't matter, there will be a single edge. Okay, so this will be a simple graph corresponding to this one, where edges of G corresponds to the vertices, and adjacency is coming from adjacency of the edges. Whenever two edges are incident or having common vertex, then these vertices in line graph are adjacent. Okay. So now coloring to edge coloring, we can find the edge coloring to this graph, or we can find the vertex coloring to this graph, right? Because edges become vertices over here. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Is same? Either you can assign the colors to edges, or you can assign over here colors to the vertices. Then it will be same, right? In that sense, chi of G, that is chi dash of G, will be same as chi of L of G, line graph. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So, okay, let's start this line graph. Yeah, many more property are same. For example, here, maximum matching alpha dash in G is same as alpha in L of G. Why? Edges become vertices, na? Here we are talking about number maximum matching. Here maximum independence number. That is independence number. Maximum number of independent vertices. And similarly, if this graph is contains a Eulerian circuit, that means a circuit that contains all the edges of G, right? Then this graph will contain a cycle, a spanning cycle. Clear?
Ma'am,
This
what is
graph will
spanning
contain
cycle?
a spanning cycle. Spanning cycle means all the vertices will be there, and a cycle containing all the vertices, right? That is known as Hamiltonian cycle. Clear? That means this graph, if this graph is Eulerian, then L of G will be Hamiltonian. That I will talk about later. Okay. And what else? Whatever edges property will be transferred to the vertices property. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now it's denoted by line graph is denoted by L of G, and this will be always a simple graph whose vertices are the edges of G. Clear? That's what I told you. Edges will become the vertices of L of G, and adjacency will be defined by E and F was the but the edges in G, these become vertices in LG, and E and F are adjacent in L of G when E and F have common endpoint, common vertex. Or in short, you can just say edge of G become the vertex of L of G, and two vertices E and F are adjacent in L of G if E and F are adjacent in G, or you can just say having common vertex. Clear? Yeah. Third, what will be the line graph of G1? Before that, what will be the line graph of P2?
From K1.
Yes. This edge become vertex. No other edges.
No.
Clear? So you have P1 line graph of P2, line graph of P3, E1, E2. Tell me, corresponding to E1, E2, we have two edges.
P2.
Clear? Are these adjacent?
Yes.
These two edges become two vertices, and these will be adjacent because they have common vertex. Clear? So this will be P2. What about P4? You have one vertex corresponding to this edge, corresponding to this edge, one vertex corresponding to this edge, one vertex. Now these two edges are adjacent. That's why a common point na. That's why these are adjacent. These two edges are adjacent over here, right? Having common vertex. So these are adjacent. This is P4 and this is line graph of P4. Here line become vertices, right? Edges become vertices. So this will become P3 na. In general, what you can say about Pn?
Pn minus 1.
Line graph of Pn will be isomorphic to
Pn minus 1.
n minus 1. Understood?
Yes, sir.
What about Cn? C3. C3. You have three edges. So corresponding, you will be having three vertices. Corresponding to this one, this vertex. Corresponding to this one, this vertex. Corresponding to this edge, this vertex. Clear? 1, 2, 3. And these are the vertices. Now, 1 and 2 are adjacent with
Yes,
common
ma'am.
vertex. So these will be adjacent over here. 1 and 3 common vertex adjacent. 2 and 3 common vertex adjacent. So C3 is line graph of C3 is again C3. What about C4?
Line graph will be C4.
It will be C4 corresponding to 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2. See here, these two are not adjacent. So here 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and these two edges are not the vertices. These two edges 1 and 3. These are forming a matching na, having no common vertex. So there will be no adjacency. Yeah, 1 and 2 adjacency. 1 and 4 adjacency. 2 and 3 adjacency. 3 and 4 adjacency. Clear? What about 1 and 3? No. 2 and 4? No. Clear? Now these two edges forms the matching 1 and 3. And here you can see these forms the independent vertex set. Clear? And similarly for 2 and 4, these are also independent. These edges independent, corresponding vertices independent. So again we got C4 na. Line graph of C4 is again C4. So in general, line graph of Cn will be Cn,
Yes.
right?
Isomorphic to C.
So line graph of Cn is your isomorphic to Cn, and line graph of Pn was isomorphic to Pn minus 1. Understood? Now, look at G1. How many edges? 5 edges. So corresponding 5 vertices. DE, there will be one vertex, there will be one vertex in line graph. There one more vertex, this vertex corresponding to this edge, right? Okay. Now E and D have two common points, right? But doesn't matter whether one common point or two common vertex, there will be adjacency. Means there will be single edge. Okay. So these are having common vertex or adjacent. What about D and F? Common vertex. These are adjacent, these edges. So vertices, corresponding vertices will be adjacent. E and G, D and G. This is the common vertex, na? All these four. See, whenever three edges are like this, these forms the triangle, right? And whenever 4 edges, this forms the K4. Okay, 4 edges are like this. These will form K4. Clear? These will form K5. Okay. So here, these are adjacent because of this one. These are adjacent, these are adjacent. Okay. What about H? H is independent of D and E. Clear? H has no relation with D and D. No adjacency, no common point, right? What about F and H? They have common point, this one. So these will be adjacent. G and H, they have this common point. So G and H. Okay. So finally, we got this type of structure. Any doubt? See, this was multigraph, and the line graph of this multigraph we got as simple. Yeah, next. Line graph of this one will be corresponding to this one. There will be vertex, 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 vertex. Yeah, these will form here. All three edges are coming out of this, have common vertex now. So this will form C3. If 4 edges coming out of one vertex or having common vertex, then C4 will K4. 5 edges, K5. Yeah. What about these three? F and H, G and H, this one. Yeah. Is there any relation with H and E in this graph? H and E, independent. H and E, independent, right? No common vertex. So here these vertices will be independent. Okay?
Yes.
Any doubt in line graph? So for C3, line graph is C3. C4 you have C4. For P2, P1, P3, P3. Yeah, for this graph. What will be the line graph?
P1. Okay.
E1, sure. 2 vertices will be there, corresponding to these two. And these are adjacent, so adjacent. Clear? What about this one? There will be one more vertex, and all these there's the common vertex. So all the vertices will be adjacent. Okay? If this one, then it forms the K4. Clear? And so on.
Ma'am, why we are not giving multi-edge? Because two vertices are.
See, multi-S, corresponding vertex we are just coloring. Na? In coloring, multi-S doesn't matter, coloring to the vertices, right? These edges corresponding to vertices. That's what matters, right? Common, see, whenever this edge or these two edges, in these one, we want edge coloring, clear? So can you use the same color to these one?
No, ma'am.
No. Can you use, when these have one common point, right? Now they have both common point, two common points, right? Both the end vertices are same. Now can you use the same color to color these two edges? Yes?
No, ma'am.
No, right? You cannot use the same color to color both these. Okay, so whether it is one point is common or two point are common, there will be just adjacency because यहाँ पे vertex coloring का same effect है जो यहाँ पे edge coloring है. So यहाँ पे अगर two भी होता तो क्या फर्क पड़ जाता vertex coloring में? It doesn't matter, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Here you need to use first color, second color. What about now? Again the proper coloring, right? First color, second color. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's actually by definition, it is simple graph. Why? Whenever there is any common vertex, one common vertex, two common vertex, or anything else, maximum it can have two common vertex, right? These are adjacent. There is just one edge. Okay, E and F will be adjacent in L of G whenever these are adjacent. Okay, whenever they have common vertex, common endpoint. Whether it is one common point or both common point doesn't matter. There will be a single edge. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What about if you have any loop? Line graph of this one.
I'm single point.
P1, right? This become E. Okay? Yeah. Now for K3 we have done. K3 or C3 are same. So for K3 it will be K3. For K2 it is K1. K3 it is same as K3. K4. For K4 we have 6 edges. So corresponding there will be 6 vertices in the line graph of K4. Okay. So E2, this is E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, E6. Okay, so here it is E2, E1, E3, okay, E4, E5, and E6. These will be corresponding vertices you can see over here. Now these three are these three edges are emerging from the same point, right? This common point, so that will be triangle formulation, right? Now these three edges will form a triangle, right? So I can take it a little bit over here. This one, and triangle formulation. Okay. Now these three edges having common vertex this one, so these 3 points will form a triangle. This one, and this one, right? Now these three edges E3, E5, E4. These are also having common point. So there will be triangle formulation. Right? Finally, you got this graph. Okay? Any doubt? Yes? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, these I already told you that whenever any vertex coloring in LZ will be same as edge coloring in graph G, right? The coloring of edges, if color class, so that each color class is a matching, becomes the proper vertex coloring. So edge coloring in Z become the proper vertex coloring. Here also it should be proper edge coloring. Okay. Here it will become proper vertex coloring. And yeah, any independent edges in G forms the corresponding, there will be independent vertex set, right? So that I already told you, alpha dash of G will be alpha of L of G, right? A matching become the independent set. And Eulerian circuit will form a spanning cycle because सारी की सारी edges present here, right? A circuit that contains all the edges. Okay? And here there will be a cycle that contains all the vertices in line graph. Yeah. So while going for edge coloring of G, you can also find the vertex coloring for L of G. Okay? So it depends on you whether you want to find directly edge coloring of this one or you find line graph of G, then you can find the vertex coloring. Whatever you think is G, you can apply that, right? Now K edge coloring, K vertex coloring we have done. This is just labeling of colors to the vertices, and here it is colors to the edges. That was defined, the vertex coloring was defined as F from vertex set to K colors, right? It was vertex set to K number of colors. But here it is edge set to K colors. So this is a mapping assignment. Does that edges are getting color, right? And these labels 1, 2, 3 up to and so on up to K, these are labels and these are defined by colors. Okay? And the vertices of one color form the color class, vertex color class. Similarly, the edges of same color forms the color class. Now, can you tell me this all the edges of this color class will form a matching or not? There is E1, E3 or E7, suppose. These are getting same color. Same color. Will these form matching? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
This will form matching. Similarly, you can find the maximum matching, or you can just say maximum number of edges that have the same color. That will be corresponding to alpha dash, and that is same as maximum matching. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
For example, in case of this one, this you can have K2. You need just one color, two color this as P3. You need two colors, right? P4, you can use two color or three color, right? Depends on the number of edges. Maximum is the number of edges, right? Maximum number of colors are used in, that is the size of the graph. So here first color, second color, third color, okay? And second P4 is first color, second color. Third P4 is first color, second color, first color. So which one is proper? These all are the matching. These all are the edge coloring we have defined.
Come first one.
Once more, I'm just using three colors over here to color this P4, two colors over here, and two colors over here. I want to know which one is proper edge coloring. Proper edge coloring means whenever two edges are adjacent or having common vertex, they are getting the different colors.
Ma'am, both 1 and 2.
Both 1 and 2.
Yeah, these two are proper coloring, but this is not, right? This is edge coloring, but not the proper edge coloring. Okay. Similarly, for PN, how many colors you can use to color the edges of this graph? Maximum. Proper K coloring exists. Proper K vertex coloring, proper K edge coloring. Yeah, tell me. Maximum.
N minus
K
1.
dash if your is. Maximum is n minus 1. Minimum is
2.
2 or 1. If n is at least 3, then 2. Right? If n is at least 2, then 1. Right? It starts with 1 to this one. Yeah. For vertex coloring, maximum it is n, minimum it is, in this case it is 3. And if you take n greater than equal to 2, then that is non-trivial Pn, then it will be 2 to n. Clear? The chromatic number for this one is minimum K. Does that this proper coloring exists? So chromatic number, vertex chromatic number was 2 over here, right? Clear? What about here? Again 2. But for it starts with 3, right? N is at least 3. For P3 it is 2. For P4 it is 2, and so on. But for P2 it is 1 na? Like here we did for P1 it is 1. Clear? For P2 or K2 it will be 1, as we have just one single edge. Clear? We have one edge. Number of colors, how many number of colors to use? Just one. Yeah, proper edge coloring. K edge coloring will be proper if incident edges, or you can just say having common vertices. Edges having common vertices, or adjacent edges also you can just say having different labels, means to say different colors. Okay, or you can just say each color class forms a matching. And when this happens, whenever no adjacent vertices, no adjacent edges or incident edges gets the same color, right? Now K edge colorable. Whenever proper edge coloring, proper K edge coloring exists, then we say this graph is K edge colorable. Here we are using everywhere is edge. In case of vertices, we didn't use that. So if it is simple proper coloring, that corresponds to vertices, and proper K edge coloring, this is corresponding to edges. Okay, K colorable correspond to vertices, K as colorable. This is your correspond to acids. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay, C4, the same example we discussed with time of vertex coloring, right? A colorable. So here, it is again the colors as the coloring is given. It may be proper, may not be proper. So just check whether it is proper or not. Here we are using 4 colors to color it properly. So this is 4 edge colorable, right? Here we are using 3. So this graph, this form of C4 is 3 edge color or edge colorable. Next is 2 edge colorable. What about the last one? What about last one? This is your 1. This is again 1, 2, 3.
I'm not a proper.
So it is not a proper edge coloring, right? So we discard this one. This is not K edge colorable, or you can just say 3 edge colorable, because proper K edge coloring does not exist. So C4, K edge colorable for 4, 3, 2 respectively in these graphs. P4 is K is colorable from 2 to 3. K4. What about K4? Yeah, for Kn we didn't discuss, na? For Kn. K2, 1. K3. How many colors needed?
3.
3, right? Every two edges are adjacent. So 3. And maximum also 3. What about K4?
4.
4. Why? These 3 are adjacent over here, right? So delta G, you can just say for these 3. That is 3 for these one. What else? 1, 2, 3. Then you cannot use for this one as 1 and 3. So 2 you can use, na? 2 you can use. What about this one? This one.
3.
You cannot use 1, 2 or 3. 3 you can use. Yeah, 3 you can use. 1 and 2 adjacent. Yeah. What about this one?
1.
1 you can use. So you have how much proper coloring exists? 3. Right? And 3 is the delta G. Clear? And also 4 proper colorable, or you can just say 4 edge colorable, 5 edge colorable, 6 edge colorable. Why is it so? 5 and 6. In vertices, we just discussed that it will be how much colorable? Up to 4 colorable. But now it's up to 6. Why?
Ma'am, can you repeat?
I'm just saying this is K colorable for K is equal to 3, 4, 5, 6. Why these two we are considering? See, one proper edge coloring I have already shown you. You can also use 4 proper coloring, 5 proper coloring, 6 proper coloring. So 5 and 6, why? Anyone?
Ma'am, because it has five and I mean it has more than four edges.
Yes, we have 6 edges, na? So maximum it is, we can use 6 number of colors. That will depend number of quantities, right? There it was only 4 vertices. Here maximum number of edges equal to m. So maximum it is m colorable, m edge colorable, and minimum it will be maximum degree. Okay. Yeah. What about K5? For K3 it is 3 exactly. For K4 3 to 6. K5
Ma'am, minimum four
minimum 4.
and maximum 4C2. Ma'am, 5C2.
1.
10.
Yeah, maximum 10. Right? 2, 3, 4. Here. Now this edge is adjacent with 3 and 4. So you can use 2. Right? Now this edge is adjacent with 2, 3, 4, 1. Which one you want to use? 2, 3. 3 no, not 3. 2, 4, 1. These two are, this is 4, this is 2, this is 1. So 3 you can use, I think, right? This one was 3. So no adjacency with 3. Now, what about this one? This one adjacent with 3, 2, 1.
4.
3, 2, 1. So 4 you can use. Yeah. What about this one? This 3, 2, and also adjacent with 1. So 4. Right? Now this one, not adjacent with 1, no? 1. What else? Nothing? Yeah. What is this one?
Ma'am,
1, 4, 2. 2 is adjacent. This one we use 3, no? Yes, 3 we use. Yeah, anything else left? No?
Ma'am,
Which edge is left?
3 and 3.
See, this one done, this one, this one, this one, this one done. Yeah. What about this one? 4. Not 4. This was 3. And this is again 3 we are seeing. This one. Yeah, what about this one? 1 we can use? No, we can't use 1. We can use 3. 3 we can't use. One, right? And this we cannot use this with the red color. I can use this as red color. Not this one, not this one, not anything else, right? Not this one, not this one. Yeah, what else? This one, this one. Not this one, not anything else, right? What else? Like this, there will be, I think, 5. This else, this else. Anything else? No. This else. What else? I cannot use this one. Cannot use this one. Cannot use this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4 I have used, right? What else I can use? Tell me. This we need 4 colors we have used, no? This is your 5th color. This is again 5th color. Yes. What else?
Another color.
For this last one, green we cannot use. Green we cannot use. Blue we cannot use. This one we cannot use. Now this one we can use. Not this one.
Another
So
color.
here, yeah. Some other color we need to use. This is your proper edge coloring. But it is it minimum?
No, ma'am.
No. So which I should replace with what? Hmm? Anyways, this is one of the proper coloring. We are using 6 colors. Minimum it need to be 4 or 5. 5. Right?
4, ma'am.
But in 4 we are not able to do that. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Okay, if you are stuck at this one, find the line graph and find the vertex coloring, right? But line graph will be also difficult one because there will be
10
10
what?
vertices. Okay. So anyways, we will generalize it. Don't worry. Yeah, for K3, K4, it will be 3, 4, 5, 6. For P4 it is 2 and 3. Maximum number of edges are 3, na? And minimum we can use 2 colors, right? Alternatively. And in case of N also, Pn also, it will be maximum it is N minus 1 and minimum it is 2. Clear? Whenever N is at least 3, at least no, 3, yeah, at least 3. Pn. And for C4 it is 2, 3, 4. And in case of Cn, in general it will be C3 you need 3 colors, right? This one, this one, this one. C5 also you need 3 colors. So for odd you need 3. Here minimum, maximum is N. Yeah. And for E1 alternatively the same colors, right? So 2 colors when E1 and maximum N. Clear? Now we need to discuss about Kn. Yeah. H chromatic number, vertex chromatic number we have done. The minimum coloring, right? Minimum K. So this is also known as chromatic index. Okay, either it is H chromatic number or it is known as chromatic index. Clear? Denoted by chi dash. and this will be for a loopless graph. No loops would be there. Clear? No loops would be there like this. Why is it so? Why is it so? Whenever common vertex, it has both as same endpoint. Now means this edge and this edge from this vertex. If we look at this one, so these are two edges going, right? So this edge should have got the different color than this one, right? But it is loop, so we cannot use the different color. That's why we use the loopless graph. Okay, for a loopless graph, chromatic index will be the least case is that this is proper edge coloring, K coloring exists. Okay, or you can just say G is K edge colorable. For C4 alternatively, this one same color, and some other color you can use to color these two edges, right? So 2, minimum 2 for C4. For C3, you need 3. First color, second color, and third color. Clear? For P4, it is 2. For P3, tell me, for P3, 2 na? 2. This is your P3. For P2, 1. So for Pn it is 2. For N at least 3. For P2 in particular it is 2. For K2 also 2. For K4 it is 3. Okay. For C3 3. In general it is, for even cycle it is 2. For odd cycle it is 3. Okay. And here for P2 or K2 it is 1. For Pn, for all n greater than equal to 3, that is n at least 3, you have 2. Clear? Yeah. Here we have one result about this chi-dash of G, that any edges sharing a vertex need different colors. And how many maximum number of edges can share a vertex? In graph, maximum number of edges can share a vertex is equal to delta of G, right? Maximum degree, right? These are sharing this vertex. Clear? So minimum number of colors to color it properly will be at least delta of G. Clear? Are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
So minimum it is for any graph. Minimum it is delta of G, and maximum it is delta G plus 1. Okay. Minimum it is this one and maximum it is this one for simple graph. If you take like this, these two edges, then it will be different, multi edges, then it will be, it may be more than this one, but for simple graph it will be this plus 1 maximum. Yeah. For simple, for any graph it is at least delta of G. For bipartite graph it will be equal to delta of G. That you can check for any bipartite graph. You have this bipartite graph, right? What is the maximum degree? 3. Maximum degree 3. And maximum degree 3, you need first color, second color, third color to color these edges coming out of this maximum degree vertex, right? Then this you can color it by 1 or 3, right? it is exactly minimum edge coloring is exactly equal to delta of G. And for all other graphs which are not bipartite, for that it will be delta G plus 1. Yeah, it may be less than that. Doesn't matter, it will be exactly this one. But for bipartite, we are sure. Why is it so? Why I am saying this may be equal to delta G. For K4, we have seen the K4 is the example for which we have seen this is equal to delta G, right? But it is not bipartite. For all the bipartite graph, it will hold. And it hold doesn't matter, doesn't give you the result that graph will be bipartite. For example, in case of K4, we have minimum edge coloring is your 3, but still it is not bipartite. Clear? Yeah, edge coloring in K2N. The graph K2N, or you can just we can start with K2, then K4. Yeah, what was the coloring for K2N in case of vertices? And why this is K2N only? Yeah? It can be K2N plus 1 as well, right? So it's, you find for K2N plus 1 and generalize for K2N as well. For K2, N is equal to 1, K2. How many? 1 only? K4. K4. It is 3. K4. We have done it. 3. Right? Or you can draw like this. K4. It is 3. Okay. First, what do you do? This one colored by first color. Then this is cannot be colored by the same color. Right? You can skip it. This you can color by the same color. Then the last edge, which is adjacent to this one, not colored by this one, right? Then next color. This is first color. Next color, you can take blue. Next is next edge. Okay, then skip this one. Then this is, right? Then what else? This edge no, this edge no. You cannot. Right? Third. Next, this one. Yeah, what about this? This is this edge to be colored by blue or which? Not blue, not green, not this one. Then how could we assume this as 3? Okay, we will discuss this for K2N in general for tomorrow. I think we're left with this
Yes.
one. Till then, you think about why this is coming as 3. Is it really 3 or it should be 4? Thank you all. I stop here.
Thank you, ma'am.